New from Deaf Crocodile is The Outcasts, a film from 1982, an Irish film set in early 19th century, where you kind of meet a family with two sisters. One is having a relationship and is looking to kind of solidify that and sort it with her father, who she knows there's going to be a problem there. And then we have Mora, a kind of outcast herself, whom is a little bit weird, a little bit different, and definitely looked upon by everybody else in this community. And at the start of this one, I felt we were getting stuck with a kind of melodrama, a slow plodding melodrama, but very quickly I started to warm up to the characters, particularly Mora, who is going to become the lead of this film, and the little romantic tryst at the start with her sister and the partner, and going to the father and kind of talking through the aspects of why they should be joined together in matrimony. It was really kind of interesting.
We all know you've had your differences in the past, but you shouldn't let the father's problems get in the way of the children.
I can see the reason in it.
But the main part of this film for me was Mora and the mystical, weird, strange, outcast character of Scarf Michael, someone who appears midway through the film. Mora is a put-upon character. She's someone who, although people tolerate, it's grudgingly. They don't really accept her with open arms. She is one who feels as if she's in a world of her own. She tries to fit in, but is often excluded by everybody else. That is until she bumps into Scarf Michael, a character who loves the kind of mythos that goes with him, who loves the kind of legends that are around about him, who likes the fact that he has this solitary lifestyle, doesn't really want to interact with everybody. This is someone who's used to people being afraid of, who are terrified of him, whose name is almost cast around as if he's like a boogeyman.
Scarf Michael is here!
And Mora and him kind of form this strange bond. There is something very familiar about each of their personalities. They're both outcasts. They both have this strange way of looking at the world. And Scarf Michael does some wonderful things as he spends the night with Mora, showing her human nature, what people do when they don't realise they're being watched, and how he plays his music and makes things happen. It's just, well, it is magical, but it is also wonderful to watch as well.
They took me for dead, you see. But when I broke through that water, I knew I had the power they believed I had. And now, of course, I was sanctified as a man who had come back from the dead.
And I felt as if I was stuck in a strange world. Early 19th century looks like a hardship. It looks like a hard way of living their lives. And everything is basically about survival. And you have this character, Mora, who, although is just in that world, she seems to be just above it, floating along, happy, looking at the little wonders that every day brings, and she kind of focuses on that, which is a great outlook. And The Outcasts is one of those stories where it's not out and out horror. It could possibly be shoehorned into folk horror a little bit, but it's more about an atmosphere. It's more about a time, a place, the prejudices of that time, and how people dealt with it, and how the people who were a little bit different, who didn't conform, were outcast and maligned and stigmatised.
Who are you?
Oh,
Why didn't you run off when you had the chance?
I'm not afraid. Did you think I was?
No.
But there's something kind of wonderful about it. There's something really interesting about Scarf Michael and Mora finding each other, having this connection, seeing the commonality within their personality traits, the kind of magical elements that follow this one. There's just something that's really interesting about it. This was a film that grabbed me very quickly. and it's not the kind of story that I would normally gravitate towards, but the characters, the situations, the mysterious aspects of the film just drew me in, made me wonder where this was going to go. And like I said, I absolutely loved the character of Mora, and where the film ends was really interesting. I'm not going to get into it, but it's left ticking about my brain just thinking about it. It's a wonderful transfer. It's an incredibly unusual film that really kind of spoke to me in various different ways, and one that I have been thinking about a lot since I watched it. Another great package from Deaf Crocodile. Let's dive into the disc and have a look at some of the on-disc extras.
Here we are in the disc for the Outcasts. Let's go to the extras. We have an interview with the director, Robert Wynne-Simmons, which is 83 minutes. It's conducted by Dennis Bartok. They get into a whole host of things here, including his early influences, how he ended up making films, his early Super 8s. We have an interview with the composer, Steve Cooney, which is 48 minutes. A visual essay by Rod Stoneman, which is 28 minutes. This is a former chief executive of the Irish Film Board discussing the impact of Outcasts, discussing how they were involved, the funding, and the kind of conditions that led to funding, which is quite good. Next, we have The Judgment of Alwyn, Prophecies of William Blake, which is 26 minutes. Wynne-Simmons' gorgeous lyrical tribute to the visionary poet and artist William Blake, refracted through images of late 60s England. Now, this is great because of the poems you've got over it, but also because of the visual elements, seeing these times, seeing the places, the people. It's like a time capsule. Then we have early 8mm films. We have 4 here of various lengths and various quality. They're all very interesting. I particularly like Loretta di Davolo, which is a ghost story which I particularly loved, set in the old house of Mary Shelley, to add a little bit more to it. Also included in this set is a 58-page booklet. We have 2 essays, one by Paul Duane and one by Walter Shaw, and then we have notes on the Outcasts as well. And that's the extras for the Outcasts.
There we have it. Outcasts, it's a terrific film. Really great. I thoroughly enjoyed this one, and it's one that I would recommend picking up if you get the chance to. Definitely pop over to Diabolique DVD where you can import it if you're interested in, I'm giving you a nudge. Maybe should do this one. I'd love to know your thoughts on Outcasts. If you've seen it, let me know in the comment box below. As always, there is more content up here if you want to see more of my stuff. In the description box below are links to Patreon, membership program, manvfilm.com. Always in which you can support me. Thanks for watching. See you next time.